Hello everybody. In the previous lessons, we talked about this function, for example, display item as sold. But before we talk about this function here, display item as sold, I just want to talk about set by button state. So once we talk about set by button state, we have to implement this function here inside this method. So if you go to the top a little bit, we have a function here called display button state. So yeah, set by button state. So here we just give it a button and we just check for this button if it's interactable or not. So here we just check if this button is enabled, which we just gonna, or if this button is not equal to null, we just go here and we just set it to interactable. We remove the listener, and here if it's interactable, if it's activated from somewhere else, we're just gonna enable it again. So by adding this add listener and call the onClick method. But where do we use this set by button state? So we use the set by button state inside of the virtual good changed. So if we change the virtual good, we have to come here and call this method here, update item data. So once we update the item data inside this method, we're just gonna come here and we're just gonna execute the following function here. So we're just gonna go to the market item and we just give it by default a value of null. So if we can pass this as an empty argument function. So we just check here if visual by button is not enabled, we're just gonna display this. If the market item is not equal to null, so we just give it a value. We're just gonna get the item name, and we're just gonna get the item name from the market item, the market title to replace the string that needs to be removed from the title, and we just give it an empty string. So we just replace that name with an empty one. And after that, we come here, item description. We just get the description from market item, and we just check here, make a purchase with market. So if the item purchase type is for this item is purchase type as purchase with market, we're just gonna get this and save it here. So we're just gonna check after that if this item is purchasable with market and it's not equal to null here, we're just gonna say purchase with market for the market item is equal to market item here. And after that, we just gonna continue and see the label is equal to item name, description is equal to item description, and visual by button text is equal to we need to get the purchase type for the item purchase type, and here we need to give the by format. So once you give the by format, we're just gonna replace the parameters for the by format, which is basically things that we defined here. So this is the buy format. We buy with a certain amount of money. So once you do this, we're just gonna call this function. We just give it the item purchase type, and once you give it the item purchase type, we're just gonna call this method here. So where's that method? Let me just show you that method here. Yeah, this is the method we have. So once you pass the purchase type, we're just gonna get the current purchase type, and it's not equal to null. We're just gonna return the string value of the number of currency. So here we are checking if the purchase with market is not equal to null, so we need to pay the item with money. So that's why we have to check if the current string of the given purchase item with market here is null or empty. It's not null or empty. We have to get the market price and currency. So we have to do this here. So if this is true, we're just gonna return the current market price and currency. If it's not, we're just gonna return the current market item price. We're just gonna return the culture info here. We use culture info the current culture. So if it's euro, if it's dollar, if it's whatever. So this is going to depend on the current culture. So we use the culture info, the currency or current culture, in order to return the price in that culture. So for example, $3, $4, €4, 5 shekels, 5 dinars, 5 GD, so and so forth. This is how you could use this thing in order to return the item if it's purchasable with market. So we're just gonna return the currency using culture info here if this is not assigned with the current market item price and currency. After that, we're just gonna continue here, and we're just gonna say purchase with virtual item. If it's not purchasable with money, it's purchasable virtual item. So we have to get this purchase type as purchase with virtual item. And if this purchase with virtual item is not equal to null, we need to return the amount here to string, and we just return here the current amount. Okay, and after that we just also return the currency name. So here we're just gonna get the currency name, and we add S for in case the currency is a group of items, not a single item. So this is how we could return the purchase type price as we saw here. So yeah, if we go continue in the protected functions here, and all that is related to the update item data as we saw. And here we have the item sprite. We get that sprite, and we just explained that before, how to do all that related to the virtual good change. And yeah, that's it. This is how you could continue if it's a regular item, not a upgradable item or not a equipable item. We're just gonna continue here and say amount panel the game object active to is purchased, and we're just gonna upgrade the text of it, and we're just gonna set this button state to the main button to true, so you could buy more from this item. So if the item is single use, I'm just gonna execute the script here. Alright, so these are the scenario. One of the scenarios that we change the upgrade if there's upgraded product. The other scenario, if the item is lifetime and is purchased. So if it's lifetime, is this item is equipable virtual code. If it's equipable, we're just gonna display this item as equipable. If it's not, we're just gonna display this item as sold. If it's not equipable and if it's not lifetime and it's not purchased, we're just gonna go here and set the button state to true, as you can see here. So yeah, here inside the display as equipable and display as sold, we have two methods. So this is display as equipable. We're just gonna display toggle the states between equip and unequipped according to the is equipped here. So if it's equipped, just gonna make it unequipped, and if it's unequipped, just gonna make it equipped to update the label. And we need to update the equipped image, set it active to true or false here by using this equipped image. So we're just gonna toggle this, and here we need to set the purchase item image in the corner to be true, and set the buy button state to be true. If the item is upgradable, we're just gonna use the display upgrade UI. Alright, but it's not used in the current project, so you could take a look at it. Not gonna cover it in the current scenario because it's not covered in the current project. Here we have also display item as sold. So once you purchase an item and it's lifetime, we're just gonna display this item has been sold. So you have to go here and change the alpha of the current item image and set sold image as true, enable it as true, and after that we're just gonna toggle the state, set buy button state to be false, so you're not gonna be able to buy it again. And this is why, that's why when you purchase, for example, ads, the button is gonna be disabled and just gonna display all the time sold image for that item. Yeah, this is pretty much guys. about all the functions that we have here. We just cover all the functions and with their functionalities and their impact to our game. So right now I can go just back this. We moved to all that because we want to answer this question: what is going on once we call a method here called item view? So this was the answer for your question. So once we update the item view, we're just gonna find this store item matching with this item and upgrade it. So yeah, if this virtual store item is not equal to null, we're just gonna set the current view to this item, and after that we're just gonna update live and UI preferences, as we're gonna see and continue the next part. So thank you guys again for watching. See you next lesson.